what's going on? As soon as they throw the women's golf on, it's time for the Showdown Hoedown. I ain't got time for that, brother. All right, I just had to verify that Cam Davis wasn't going to dick off and miss the cut before I hit record, but he managed to not screw up 9. He's in. All right, he's in. He was like one of my slap dick favorite plays this week, so I had to sweat him. I'm already tilted enough. What's up, new guy? I'm the Degenerate75. I'm a PGA DFS content creator who is here to help you get a little bit better at PGA DFS because this shit be tough, especially if you're only playing kicking the nuts, a.k.a. week-long, right? Which, if you're into that, just know every Monday, you see the schedule up here? I do the course preview, the contest selection, all that, and then Wednesday, I have the final word in PGA DFS with the emergency stream. Come check that out where we will go over everything you need to know before you make and finalize your lineups and make well-informed decisions. And, of course, right now you're watching the Showdown Hoedown, which I do every Friday and Saturday night, because Showdown is the one place where there is still an edge, as most people played morning guys today, and amazingly got there, even though the course played way easier in the afternoon. I'll never fucking get it. The donkey dicks always get there. All right, let's get going. Lots to talk about. By the way, if you're one of those people that wants to know some pick'ems for Underdog, some birdie strokes that you want to hear, or you want to know some good round 3 scores for DFS, wait around till the end. I will be covering that. Don't forget, the 1-year anniversary is actually tomorrow. It will be my 1-year anniversary show, but I'm going to just celebrate it for the PGA Championship, do a bunch of giveaways, because if you don't know, the big guy, what is he? Guy in the back. He's not a fucking poor. That's right. All right, if you're keeping up over here on the Cut Sweats, which, by the way, go over there and sign up. You get half off the first month if you use my code Degenerate75, all caps down there. You can see the cut rate. The 6 of 6 is pretty high this week, between, 13 and 17%. So pretty high, and that's even with Jason Day imploding there on 17 and missing the cut. Spieth missed the cut. But generally, most of the donkey dicks got in right on the number, right? Cam Young. If I ever would have knew Cam Young was 36%, I would have never played that little leprechaun motherfather. But I did. What are you going to do? And he managed to squeak through. Hovland got through by what? He was at -2. Rory got through. So when you have all the donkey dicks getting through, you're going to have a high 6 of 6 rate, right? It's pretty simple stuff. Me personally, not so high. My 6 of 6 rate. Hey, it went up. I must have had some people. It's not great. Definitely below average would be my 6 of 6 rate. But you know what? That's why the Lord made Showdown, so I can go chase it again tomorrow. Plus, if you can't tell, I'm just chasing those Fantasy Golf World Championship tickets right now. And am I going to chase more again tomorrow? Yeah, I am. All right, fucking deal with it. So that's where the 6 of 6 rate is. I don't think I'll have any great simulations tonight whenever Nelson puts those out, but we'll look and see. Let's talk about how the course played a little bit today. What do you say? So I did this crazy thing called checking the weather and using round 1 data, and knew that the afternoon was going to play noticeably easier than the morning today. So I basically played Victor Hovland. That was the one donkey dick from the morning I played, because I knew he would make birdies left and right. But then everybody else in my player pool was from the afternoon, and miraculously enough, I did not have a good day, even though the course played a cool 1.35 strokes easier in the afternoon than it did in the morning, which is just that's astronomical. That's a huge split between the morning and the afternoon wave. You would think that almost all the high scores would have came from the afternoon, but that is not the case. Actually, if you go look at the highest scores today, I believe 4 of the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 of the top 8 scores actually came from the morning, which, if you don't know, at Showdown, we're just chasing those peak scores, right? We just want to get the guys that can go nuclear hot. And that's why you always want your guy out there in the best conditions. Can Tyrrell Hatton be the leading scorer in the shittier conditions? Yes, he can. He's a fucking good golfer, right? But for guys, like Dylan Wu is a bit more shocking, because he was also in the morning, and he also had a fucking ceiling round. So really, we're just trying to get our guys out there in the best conditions, so if they have their A game, they can hit those spike rounds. But today it didn't fucking matter, probably because I went all in on it and I just mushed everybody. But if you don't understand this, right, this right here is like you're playing somebody and they go all in with pocket 10s and you got pocket aces, and they fucking spike a pocket, they get a 10 on you, right, and they win the hand. All right, all you can do is get it in ahead and then see if shit works out. Okay, just because you play most of the guys from the better waves does not guarantee you victories. That is fucking assured. Just look at my results today. So, whatever. It ain't gonna make me stop chasing weather edges. You go have your fucking picks and your projections. I'll just fucking play the game. You do you, boo. I'll do me. I'm very confident with my process. Are you confident with yours, or do you just luck sack every once in a while? Ask yourself these tough questions, you motherfather. All right, so the big thing that I took away from the course today is the this is what I took away. The afternoon, when there's no winds, this course is semi-gettable, as it played almost a full stroke under par this afternoon. Yes, guys weren't boat racing it, but they also weren't running into many bad numbers, except Jason Day on 17, when you really needed him not to do that. But the other thing I took away is the morning guys, and this was the biggest thing. Early in the morning, they were struggling. When it is cold out there, when it's as cold as a witch's tit out there, they were not scoring. Okay, the course had to warm up. It wasn't until about 9 or 9:30 that we saw scoring start to take off, and I think that really matters for what we're going to apply for round 3 showdown, right? I think that there is a perfect little Goldilocks zone of weather that we want to land in, that guys like Hatton, Wu, Lashley, Sink, Wyndham Clark, Justin Thomas, I think all those guys got probably about 14 or 15 of their 18 holes in today in that Goldilocks zone, and they were all playing well, and that leads to fucking good scoring. Good players in good conditions playing well equals good scoring, okay? So we need to remember that. But if you're one of those people that's like, see, weather edges don't matter. Okay, you just keep playing the guys on the bad side of weather edges, and let me know how it works out for you, brother. All right, let's talk a little contest selection tomorrow. Do you want the long answer? Let me give you a really long answer. They fucking suck. All right, they are terrible. The big $20 tomorrow, $50,000 to first. Probably tell them, man, get the fuck out of here. That's just so bad. That is so bad. Look at that. You get 7th place out of 8,800 people, right? That is a 99.9 percentile lineup, and you get 25x your money. Get the fuck out of here. That is so bad. That is so bad. You go playing it. I sure as shit ain't. Okay. The 555, not much better. I mean, what is that? We got 85. So what is that? 24% to first. Don't love it, Bob. Don't love it. Don't love it. The $100 single entry, at least they bumped that back up to 20,000. So that's now playable. They just bastardized my $10 18 max by only making it 10,000 guaranteed. This used to be 20,000 max guaranteed. Now they're like, nope. There was that one layover that one time because of the weather delay. So now we have to overreact and shrink everything. And you're just going to, if you want to play Showdown tomorrow, you're going to have to play some lower limit shit if you want to be in good contests, right? The $5 single entry, the $1 20 max, even this $5 drive the green, I guess is okay, but 2,000 up top, like if you really want to go max that bad boy, it's a lot of money to commit to only chase $2,000. I always love the club twirl, but this is just insulting how small it is. So I'll tell you what, you want to know something? I can't believe I'm about to tell you this. There is a major that is only, 10, 12 days away, something like that. And there's going to be a bunch of Millionaire Maker tickets for it. So I'm just going to throw this out there. Maybe go chase some satellites, man. There's some really good satellite tickets out there. I never mind chasing these 44 tickets. If you win one of those, I know, like they also have the 176 ones, right? So for $176, go chase a 44 ticket, and then you'll have a real sweat at the PGA Championship for $1 million, right? Look, satellites are huge negative EV places to get it in, right? But if you're going to build one lineup and you want to chase something relatively big and have a real chance, that's the nice thing about these satellites is if you hit a good lineup, you are going to have a real sweat to get there. You don't have to hit the nuts. You don't have to hit anything close to the nuts to win these satellite competitions, right? So just think about it, right? If you're really always wanting to try a Millionaire Maker, you're never going to want to throw, $4,444 at it. Go throw $176 at it. See if you can win one of these, and then you also get the process of building a lineup tonight, tracking it tomorrow, sweating it, get all the enjoyment. And if you hit a really good one, you only got to beat 28 people and you have a $4,000 ticket. Not the worst thing in the world. I will be chasing the Fantasy Golf World Championship tickets because if you didn't see, it's coming up soon. So I got to get the fuck after them. I want to get at least 3. That was my goal, and I'm only at 2. So I better hurry the hell up. A wise man once told me. Hey, also be looking out next week. The Albatross is back over here on Underdog. This is the future, man. I'm telling you, for all of you that love fantasy golf and want a different way to play it, especially if you love the best ball that NFL offers, this mixes perfect together PGA and best ball, and it's fucking PGA best ball. Who would have ever thought? And they already did it for all 4 majors, but now they're doing a return one for the last 3 majors. Just like last time, I will have all the content you need, all of the tools you need to make this most efficiently. It'll be over on my website. I will put out a YouTube video. Be looking out for that. I'm telling you, you start playing this shit, it's gonna get in your bones, brother. All right, let's check the weather. Or as some people would call it, that voodoo that doesn't matter or affects golf scoring. I don't believe in it. It's witchcraft, that wind and shit. All right, here you go, man. It doesn't appear as though there's going to be much rain tonight. Maybe a little bit of, maybe there'll be a little bit of rain overnight, right? But here's what I'm seeing. The weather is going to be immaculate tomorrow. Immaculate. Until about 3 or 4 o'clock, and it's going to pick up. But I think by that time, most of the guys will be done. That'll just be the leaders finishing up. And please hear me on this, because the PGA is a bunch of fucking weirdos that make decisions based on no rhyme or reason, okay? So if they're going to go out in threes off 1 and 10 tomorrow, I would assume they'll probably go around 9 a.m. if they do that. All this weather stuff I'm about to talk about, you can basically just throw it out the fucking door, okay? None of it matters. But I am assuming that the PGA is going to be a normal fucking PGA Tour event, and they're going to put them off in groups of 2 off of number 1, and they will start around 7 a.m., and then the leaders will go off around 1 p.m. local time zone there, which is in North Carolina, slapdick time zone. So I think that's what we're going to plan around, right? And if that is the case, I think there is a big edge to play tomorrow, right? I think there's a real weather edge that you can play tomorrow if they're going to put them off in 2s and 1, which any fucking logical tour would do when there's no weather pending, right? But I don't know. I don't know why they didn't do it the other week. I'm sure one of you's out there yelling at your screen right now, being like, how do you not know this? Because I fucking have touched grass before, okay? Get out of your house. That's why I don't know it. So here you go. Here's my hot take for tomorrow when it comes to the weather. These past 2 days, we have seen that in the morning scoring is not easy. The course does not get even semi-gettable until it gets over 60 degrees. And as you can see, it will not get over 60 degrees till 9 a.m. tomorrow, right? And I think that you don't want guys going out prior to that. If you have a guy going out in the very first wave or two, yes, they're going to get probably well over half of their round in good scoring conditions, but why not try to target guys that get their whole fucking round in good scoring conditions, right? So with that, you got to know, and let me go ahead and remind you, the guys who go out the very earliest, this is once again new guy, assuming they're going off in 2s off of hole number 1 over a 6-hour period, right? The guys who go out the very earliest will be the guys who barely made the cut. They'll be all those guys right there at -1, which, by the way, if I didn't say that earlier, the cut is definitely -1, okay? So all the guys at -1 are in, all the guys at even. Sorry, Sam Burns. Sorry, Jason Day. You ain't making it, brother. So it'll be those guys going off. And then after all the -1 guys go off, then the -2 guys go off, then the -3s, and then the very last guys off will be the leaders, okay? I look, if you're like, of course I know that. Well, not everybody does, so chill out. So if I am trying to target guys in the perfect scoring condition, assuming a round takes 4.5 hours, or if you're playing with Cantlay, 5 hours, then I am going to want to target guys going off around 9 to 11 o'clock. Why 9 to 11? Well, because A, I've watched golf the last 2 days, and I've noticed that is when the peak scoring happens, right? And I want my guys out there for the entire round in peak scoring conditions, right? The course does get a little, chewed up throughout the day, and by the end of the day, and the winds are going to be blowing tomorrow. So if I have a guy who goes off, the leaders who go off at 1, they're probably going to have to play their last 6 holes on chewed up greens with some winds blowing, and however baked out the course gets, which doesn't appear to be much, will be the most baked out tomorrow afternoon that will be in the morning. So for me, 9:30 to 11 is just a Goldilocks zone that I want guys going off. Other reasons to like those guys, they're all going to be chasing. They're going to be firing at pins, and if they have their A game, if they're throwing those darts right at flags, they're going to have perfect conditions to go score. So you got to remember that you want guys who score in round 3 showdown, and you don't give a shit about where they place or where they start, because none of that matters in round 3 showdown. So I think you really want to go hard chasing that little Goldilocks zone right there. Is the best score going to come out of that? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm just telling you, if a guy has his A game who goes off at 10 o'clock and he plays the exact same as a guy who goes off at 3 o'clock, I bet it is almost a full stroke difference in what you would expect them to score. All right, and so that's how I'll be playing it. You take this information how you want, but I've presented it to you. It's up to you, boo. All right, hey, I got to make lineups tonight, and I am going to use the solver. Every single one of my winning lineups this year, 5 GPPs, 37 top 10s, have all been made by the solver. It is the best optimizer out there. It's not going to magically give you good plays or any of that. You still got to do the work. You still got to give it good plays to put in there. You have to make a good player pool, but once you do, it will make the best version of that player pool. Plus, it comes with my projections right there, both ownership and round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, and week-long projections. If you want those, simply go use my landing page, the Showdown Hoedown right there. Me and the editor will get you signed up, and you will have access to all my projections and help you make optimized lineups, right? I've been using it the entire year, and I'm having a great year, okay? All right, let's talk a little strategy for tomorrow. As always, I think you always want to be leery of guys coming off super hot rounds. Tyrrell Hatton coming off a hot round does not scare me near as much as Dylan Wu. If you think Dylan Wu and Nate Lashley are going to have 98 percentile outcomes 2 days in a row, well, then go play them, right? But I think Tyrrell Hatton shooting another -6 to most probably only like about a 85% outcome. He is way more likely to do it than those two jackasses are. If you want to chase a spike round from Stewie Sink or Harris English, you go right on ahead, Bob. But I'm telling you, when I'm going to chase a spike round, it's only ever going to be from a stud, aka Sung J M, Tyrrell Hatton, somebody like that, right? Even Justin Thomas. But I will tell you, Justin Thomas never, every time I've played him after a hot round, he always sucks. One of my mini rules. He'll probably smash it tomorrow. From there, I'm looking at guys that barely made the cut, right? These guys that just got in at -1. They hit the Gallo was so bad today. He sucks. I hate that guy. He could never do good tomorrow. Or he could. I'm just telling you, be careful. Rory looked like a true fucking loser today. Okay, he looked like himself, right? He could never do good tomorrow. Or he could. I'm just telling you, watch out for these guys. I will tell you, these guys right here are almost certainly going to be the first ones off tomorrow, so you got to ask yourself, do I really want to be playing them for, maybe upwards of 2 hours in the poor conditions? This is assuming they go off in 2s and 1s. If they go off in 3s, fucking ignore everything I'm saying, okay? From there, I think that these -2 guys are going to be your bread and butter guys, right? These are going to be the guys going out in that Goldilocks zone. They're going to be the guys who are going to kind of get overlooked because they're pretty far down there. They're obviously not playing too great, or they wouldn't be at -2. So some guys that make a lot of sense: Griot bouncing back, Tom Kim bouncing back, Siwoo Kim bouncing back, Keith Mitchell bouncing back. I don't need to see any of their fucking stats. I'm not even going to look at them because I just know that those guys are all really good players and kind of all bounce back from what was a below average round from them. Sometimes you just throw out the stats and you just know good players bounce back because, they got this little tricky thing called they're good players. From there, if you want to dive into the stats, and then I guess the last thing, any stud that's just kind of lingering and spinning his wheels so far this tournament, Tony Finau, a Victor Hovland, Cam Young. Oh my God, Cam Young's going to kill it tomorrow. Guys like that, I just always am interested in, right? Studs who are spinning their wheels because people are like, I'm not going to pay up for a stud that's not playing well, and then they go play well, right? It's a single round of golf. Once you embrace that PGA Showdown is just fucking chaos, and that shit happens in 18 holes that are pretty uncomparable to almost any other sport, then you'll get good at Showdown, okay? So from there, the number one thing always correlated to success is, of course, approach. And Jesus, David Lipsky almost picked up 5 strokes on approach today, and he still shot even. Well played, sir. Let's see. From there, Mark Hubbard. Okay, you got to remember he had a hole-in-one, so a lot of his numbers are going to be a bit inflated when you pick up 2.28 of that on one swing of your club. Max Homa looked incredible today, and he putted he literally could have shot a -8 today. He looked great. So if you're a ball striking truther, you got to love some maximum Homa tomorrow. But he had a good round yesterday. He's a good golfer. He can have 2 good rounds in a row, you donkey dick. Nick Hardy, I'm just watching him. That dude's throwing some darts. Justin Thomas, he looks really good, but it's Justin Thomas, and I'm starting to realize that I need to start putting him in my group of losers. He can be on my Mount Rushmore. So far, it's just Rory and Patrick Rogers. Let's see. Anybody else? It was Ricky Fowler, pretty good day on approach. I like to see somebody who did really good on approach, but kind of like Ches Reeves a good example. Oh, he missed the cut, so fuck him. Let's see. I love guys who had great approach days but didn't do much putt. Oh, Sam Stevens, look at that. Good around the green, terrible putting. Who else do we got here? Oh, Weberton Simpson, 2 days in a row with the irons. Is Webb unbroke? I choose to believe. Austin Eckroat throwing some darts. Let's go, Oklahoma boy. Hey, Tolstoy making a run for me. Let's go. All right, anybody else really popping here? Shane Lowry, womp womp. All right, anybody kill themselves off the tee but still managed a good day or an average day? Sahith Theegala, he was really bad today, but realized that most of his damage was off the tee. He was just slightly below average to everything, and he was horrific off the tee. Anybody else? Chris Kirk, he could never do good tomorrow. He was terrible. Or he could. Man, Ricky Fowler, you got to love that approach, man. Am I going to play that freaking loser? Saddens my soul. Anybody else that we're looking for that was really bad off the tee today? Matthew Fitzpatrick, bounce back candidate. Terrible off the tee today, was actually good at approach and actually good at putting. Anybody else? Zach Blair? Ooh, Zach Blair. He could be sneaky. Nice approach, nice putting, just hurting himself off the tee. The last one, around the green. Did anybody completely step on their dick around the green but still manage to find the cut? Ryan Armour. I ain't playing Ryan Armour, bro. You go. I'll say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna say Ryan Armour for you, bro. Who else? Emiliano Grillo, great bounce back candidate, and he was terrible on and around the greens. I know you're saying to yourself, but that's what Emiliano Grillo always is. I agree with you, brother, but I still play him. Taylor Moore, Taylor Moore can throw some darts. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else? Callum Tarrant. Yeah, he made the cut, right? Yeah, Callum Tarrant on the number 1.66. I have 10 guys or so that I consider that can go nuclear hot at Showdown. Callum Tarrant is definitely on that list. But be careful. He'll also be tearing out your heart. Bramlett. Look at old Brammy's down here. Great ball striking day. Terrible around the greens. All right. I'm with you, Joe. Cantlay, another one of those guys, spun his wheels today, played like a true asshole. Don't care. I'll go right back to him. Just go right back to him, right? A lot of people played him today. He didn't do well. Yeah, he sucks. He's slow. I hate that guy. Okay, I don't like him either, but I'll still play him. He can win me the money. All right, you want to know those 4 guys who are really good plays? Well, first of all, go check out my site, dgen75.com, the fastest growing community in PGA DFS, growing every day. We have lots of winners, always shouting them out on here. My guys right here had a very good week last week. Already had a couple this week, too. And, of course, I have the best tool in all of PGA DFS called the Rosetta Stone. Here is round 3s from last week. It has everything you would need, focusing on approach, to their tee time, to their ownership, to their short game regression, their bad round regression, their round 3 historical, all of those things that you need to make informed decisions and not spend all night on it because, I've heard some of you have a life. I don't know what that is, but I've heard some people have one of those. And, of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Me and the editor are just a couple independent fucks trying to run a little website. I'm just a little guy talking into a camera, and it helps so much when you like, subscribe, and tell a friend because YouTube ain't going to share my shit. And lastly, those 4 guys who are really good at round 3 scoring, here you go, in order. Taylor Moore, Keegan Bradley, loser, Samuel Stevens, and Ricky Fowler. I mean, I am going to play that loser. I can feel it in my loins. Lastly, some guys that I'm going to be playing tomorrow, I'm really going to be looking at tee times, and I want those guys going off in that Goldilocks zone. And if they are offering odds on them, I am definitely going to be taking the over on birdies, okay? Why that? Because I feel like there is going to be about 6 or 7 very gettable holes tomorrow, and this course will give up birdies. I never love playing the strokes as much as I do the birdies because there are some big numbers out here on that course, right? I saw plenty of double bogeys today, which can really screw you up when you're chasing those strokes. So that's going to be my strategy for tomorrow. That's how I'm going to play it. I hope to see you do some of the same. If not, I hope to see you tomorrow for round 4 of Showdown Hoedown. I hope you've enjoyed this show. Don't forget to come check out the schedule. Don't forget to check out the website. I will see you soon. Enjoy this outro, you motherfather.